Moving on to analysis of paid up capital and tangible net worth, adjusted tangible net worth. So what is paid up capital? See, from company's point of view, because this attains significance from company's point of view, company's capital can be divided into various types like authorized capital, issued capital, subscribed capital, paid up capital and all. So paid up capital means this is the capital that was actually paid by the shareholders, and that is the money actually received. It means it can be different from authorized capital. Say for example, authorized capital can be 1 crore, whereas paid up capital is only 80 lakhs. They have not raised it to 1 crore, but they have taken approval from company, I mean ROC, Register of Companies, for raising the capital level up to 1 crore, but they have raised only up to 80 lakhs. And for bankers, this figure is very important because this is what going to showcase how much owners have contributed directly from their pocket into the business. Okay, more the paid up capital, it means more the confidence of the owners in that business, because owners or promoters will be investing more and more money into a business only when they feel that that business would deliver them their expected return. Okay, so this figure, that is paid up capital, if it is increasing year after year, or if it is a good amount, it indicates that promoters are very confident about their business, and that confidence can also be borrowed by the lenders. Okay, because lenders are going to lend, I mean the bankers, as a banker you will be lending to your business only to those promoters who are confident of doing that business. Okay, look at this case. In previous year 2 it was 15.28 crore, previous year 1 it is 17.57 crore. It's good, it has increased, but from the comparison angle it's not per se that good. Why? 15.28 has increased to 17.57, but this company had promised to make it to 20.28 crore. Look at the estimate. They said they'll make it as 20.28 crore, but they made it only 17.57 crore. So this is a deviation from the promise what they have made to the bank. So how bank should view this? Whether any relaxation have been given, whether any waiver is given from increasing that, or is it linked to any project which they were taking, whether that project got delayed, or what is the issue, why this company could not raise, whether shareholders have difficulty in bringing money. If they are not bringing money to take care of the margin, then how come bank alone can give loan? So all this question would arise, especially when actual capital is lesser than estimated capital. If actual capital is greater than estimated capital, it is well and good. It's a scenario where they are taking care of the business. Okay, and if it is less than the estimate, then it's a deviation from promise. It has to be studied why there is a deviation, and that got to be explained. And look at here, they are estimating it to go up to 25.3 from 17.57, and next year also it is expected to be maintained at that level. So here there is a movement from 17.57 to 25.3 estimated. So in this case, how banker can satisfy himself, because already they have taken a pinch. Last year they promised something but they didn't achieve, but here again they are giving a promise that will increase. So what the bank can do, bank can ask, sorry for that, yeah, so you can ask for what is the capital brought in till date. Okay, you can get a chartered accountant certificate, or you can make a search in ROC to understand what is the capital that was increased. You can have a look at the share allotment certificates. Okay, then you can also get the form they have filed for increasing the capital, and the best part is check with the Register of Companies, because it is available in public domain, so you can know what is the exact capital level now. Okay, and when they estimate to increase this to a very high level, you should understand who are all going to be the new shareholders. Okay, who are all be the new shareholders, whether any new investors are brought in, then on what terms they are coming in, what role they'll play in management. Because as a banker, you are lending to a company by looking at the present promoters and present management. But if there is going to be a substantial investment from outsider, and if they are going to take control of the board, or if there is going to be a change in the composition, whether as a banker you are okay with it, all those got to be understood and brought out in the proposal, especially when you are estimating a substantial increase in capital. A smaller proportion is fine, but substantial increase in capital have to be brought out in the proposal, discussed in length in the proposal. Okay, this TNW and adjusted TNW I'll explain in next session.
Thank you for watching this video. Hope you liked it. If you wish to learn more on this topic, do check our comprehensive online course. I have given the link in the description below. If you like this video lecture, do not forget to click on that like, share and subscribe button with bell icon.